I'm here in a studio with State Representative Bruce Ayers of Quincy. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Nice to be here, Christine.
Oh, so you could come in on this this nice soggy day. You brought to my attention something that I was not, I have to say, really even aware of. And now that I've done a little research on, I'm flabbergasted that people are able to do this right now and get away with it. And this has to do with your license plate display and things that may obstruct it, like a tinted cover. Tell our listeners a little bit about this, because this is kind of scary.
Sure. And thanks again, Christine. It's nice to see you, and I appreciate the relationship we have, letting your viewers hear about different bills going on at the State House. And this one here is about tinted license plate covers. The bill was filed after working with some constituents in my district, and we looked into this. We wanted to find out what we could do maybe by duplicating a bill in Massachusetts. And we saw that other states like New York had similar bills on the record. And what it covers is it would ban the use of tinted license plate covers. And here's the reason why. People were using these tinted covers to obscure their license plate numbers on purpose, allowing them to circumvent the law by evading tolls or law enforcement. And it began a bigger issue with the replacement of the toll booths. I think a lot of the listeners may remember the toll booths back in the day. Mm-hmm. Back in 2016, they were phased out, and everything went to the electronic methods, the Easy Pass and the pay-by-plate. So that's where the bill kind of began, where we found out that with these tinted license plate covers, we were losing out on a lot of revenue because the cameras could not read the plates.
So that's millions of dollars.
Yes.
And that money goes right back into what, the road system?
That's correct. That money would go right back into our transportation budget to pay for our bridges, to pay for our roads, our tunnels. And we're talking big numbers, too. Some of the estimates we have show that it's like $7.2 million a year that we were losing from these tinted license plate covers.
And this is House Bill 4029.
Yes.
And you can buy these covers, I guess, online. You can buy them probably in like auto accessory places.
Yes, that's correct.
Right. And as I was looking through here, but wait, that's not all. There's also other types of items that go around the license plate or cover it that do the same thing, that are also included in this bill. I know sometimes when I've been driving, I've seen people with these heavy brackets talking about their school or some cause or whatever, and it obscures half the plate. How are they supposed to read that?
That's right.
Is that in the description? It looks like that's covered as well.
That's right. Anything that would obscure the license plate cover to prevent a toll camera from taking a picture, or to hinder the efforts of our police. Mm-hmm. When we started to do research on this bill, we reached out to our state police liaisons, my state police chief in Quincy, Kennedy, and in Randolph, my legislative district. Of course, if the plate is obscure, an officer cannot run a license plate before approaching a vehicle. So this means the officer might not know if the person has a firearm or if he's got warrants for violent crimes. So, there's benefits, too, for us, our police, our law enforcement, to have something like this on the books.
Now, it's interesting because you also brought to my attention, this is just part of the problem, because it seems like they're always looking at things to try to circumvent whatever other people or the law enforcement or the legislator comes up with to try to prevent something. They're always looking for something to kind of pushing the envelope. And I just saw some pictures here about a little gizmo that can actually, like in a James Bond movie, like a little shade will come down and cover the license plate.
That's correct. They have, when we were doing research too, we were surprised to see that some of the devices that are out there now, and one, to your point, is a shield that you can work remotely, and it will come down just like a curtain and cover your license plate. Mm-hmm. So you can't see anything. And then on motorcycles, they have a similar type of setup where a license plate, for like all plates, whether it's a motorcycle or a car, is supposed to be mounted secure. But what happens with some of the motorcycle plates is they'll have a ring-type hanger where they'll swing, and behind or under the seat there'll be a magnet. so they can push the plate and it will hit the magnet and cover the plate.
Is there anything in the books right now that legislates against this? I was just thinking when you said it, when they call like the tinted glass, isn't there like a certain level of tint here in Massachusetts that you're allowed to have on your car windows, and it can't be too dark? Is there something like that at all on these covers?
Right now, you're supposed to be able to see a license plate with the tint up to about 60 feet away.
Okay.
So that's kind of a barometer they use. But what this bill would do is eliminate that, to make it a safer and a more reliable system for what we're trying to accomplish.
So I see two roots on this: public safety and money lost. So to me, this seems like something that the House probably very interested in this bill. Any pushback on this?
No. So far, it's being vetted. It's going through the legislative process. It's gone through the Joint Committee on Transportation, where they voted it out favorably. So it's going through the process. But to your point, Christine, they see it as a way to get some additional revenue, which always helps for our roads and bridges and highways. And also, when we're trying to work with our law enforcement, we also want to make sure that we're helping them, having them be better prepared.
Where is this bill in the legislative process?
Right now, it was just taken up bills in third reading, which has shown a good progress of going through the House.
Excellent. That's amazing. Are you hearing about this from your constituents since this got filed? Be thinking, I saw this and I wasn't aware of it, but now I am, and now I'm kind of scared because I think, who's driving around out there and maybe not being able, maybe the police should be picking them up, or at least being aware that they're out there and they can't see that they're there.
Yes, we are, because in Massachusetts, our tolls are, of course, the Turnpike. We have the Tobin Bridge. We have the Harbor Tunnels, the Sumner, the Callahan, the Ted Williams. And, people are paying their fair share. And, these people who are tinting their plates aren't. So we're trying to make it fair for everybody across the board.
Absolutely. What about AAA? Have they checked in on this yet? Any of the other organizations? Do you know anything about that? I know at one point I had heard that they hadn't taken a formal stance on the bill, but I think they supported it. That's what I heard. They usually, as I said, generally support prohibiting the covering or coating of license plates with any materials that obscure. See, I never thought, just again, I don't know that much about this. I didn't think you were allowed to cover any of this at all, but I guess I was wrong.
Yeah, we haven't heard from AAA. We're mostly dealing with the police officers, the law enforcement right now. And when we saw some of the revenue numbers that these other states that had whether a law on the books or were doing studies to put laws on the books, the revenue numbers were very enticing. So that's what I think is going to help us, hopefully, with the legislation at the State House now.
Are you looking for any input from the public to maybe call in with their support or email, something like that?
Sure, that would be great. And, I appreciate, again, the opportunity to be on the show to help with the outreach. Anyone that would like to maybe weigh in on this issue, we certainly encourage you to contact our office. My phone number is 617-722-2070. They can also reach out to us via email at bruce.ayers@mahouse.gov. If you want to weigh in, whether you're for the bill or against the bill, or maybe you have some ideas you'd like to see incorporated with the bill, we'd love to hear from you.
That's terrific. Give our listeners 3 takeaways that they should know about this legislation.
Well, I think the bill, it protects the public safety by making sure that law enforcement can hold these drivers who hide their plates accountable. These people are out there to break the law. It keeps the system fair. And our law-abiding drivers aren't left paying the price for those who cover their plates to dodge the rules.
Absolutely. We appreciate you joining us today. We're going to put this up online, too. I think love to have you back and let us know where this is progressing along with your drone bill when we talk next time. Again, that's State Representative Bruce Ayers of Quincy. Hey, thanks so much for joining us today.
Great, Christine. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, too.